is up, everybody, and welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meat in the Key. You know what it is. We are back to review the playoff action. We've had some great playoff action happen, and we are going to talk about it. And yes, we were a little late. But don't worry. We will definitely pick things up and get right back on track. So, without further ado, let's start the show. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another edition of Meat in the Key. You know what it is. We are back to review some NBA playoff action, and we have some things to talk about. We got a two-part episode for you guys. We're recapping just some of round one because some of those series were good, some of those series were not good. And then we have to get into our round two picks before it is too late because the action is hot and heavy and just seems to be rolling along right now. But as always, joining me to break down the action, to talk about some NBA playoffs, I can tell you right now, a very happy individual, one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. Brandon, first off, how you feeling? Glad you're back. A lot has happened since we last have spoke. Number two, congratulations on the Celtics getting it done, handing the 76ers their largest playoff defeat in their history, and their history spans a long time. So that's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And number three, how the hell are you?
I'm doing good, man. Happy to be back, and obviously super stoked about the playoff win. Obviously, a normal, typical NBA fan would be probably a little bit more ecstatic than I am, but I've seen these Celtics in the playoffs, my whole life, spanning back to the early 2000s. So, I got my first NBA championship, the team did back in 2008. So, one playoff win, it's just like, all right, it's one, we got to chalk it up. All right, next up, it happened, there's no carryover. We got to move on to the next one. So obviously, very, relieved, obviously, that we got the win,
Yeah.
but, we still got a long way to go. So, yes, happy, and I'm happy to be back as well.
Yes, happy to have you back, happy to be back with you, happy to be talking basketball again on camera because we always talk about sports off camera. We got some things to talk about, and we're just going to quickly, because there's not much to talk about at this point, but we're going to quickly touch on round one because a certain somebody, they kind of perused on over to a game 7. Yeah, that's right. Brandon attended the Kings-Warriors Game 7, so we're definitely going to get his thoughts, his reactions from the game, some of his thoughts during the game. But let's quickly touch on these series because one series in the East, man, oh man, but let's take care of the housekeeping. The Sixers, if you haven't known, if you didn't know by now, I don't know where the hell you've been. They swept the Nets, dusted them, got rid of them, nice and easy. The Knicks, the surprise New York Knicks, dispatched the Cleveland Cavaliers in 5 games, got them the hell out of here. Then you had it was a close one. The Atlanta Hawks gave the Boston Celtics all that they could handle. Had my man here absolutely just, you see that wall behind him? There would have been a massive hole in that wall if Atlanta would have done what Atlanta was trying to do. But the Boston Celtics fended off a massive upset, advanced to round 2, and a team who didn't fend off a massive upset. Granted, they were without Giannis for majority of that series, but playoff Jimmy, the man, the myth, the legend, shows up and just ends the Bucks, the number 1 seeded Bucks. Yes, the 8 seed Heat take out the number 1 seeded Bucks, the first play-in team to ever beat a number 1 seed. Crazy. Give me some thoughts on just what we saw in the first round from the East. A little bit, any takeaways? You know, I know you were frustrated with the Celtics, but they got the job done. But yeah, some thoughts from that first round on the East side.
Yeah, I mean, definitely some frustration with the Boston Celtics to not be able to close a critical game 5 at home. When you're up 3-1, you don't want to have to go back to Atlanta and force yourself to play another game and not get rest when the other team especially had swept the other opponent. So you want to try to get as much rest as you can, and you want to be able to close those games out. I mean, you won first 2 games at home. You always want to handle business at home, especially when you go on the road and take care and, get one game there. So just their inability to close out those games that they should, just like last year when we were up 3-2 to Miami. And we came home for game 6, and we had a chance to close it out, missed a golden opportunity. So I don't know. I don't know what it is with this team dropping big home games. I mean, last year against Milwaukee, it was 2-2, and Milwaukee killed us in game 5. So, neither here nor there. The Celtics were able to win 2 games on the road in that series, which is huge. They do play well on the road in the playoffs. They usually at least win 1 game on the road, and that's what you need. So, you just, hats off to them for getting it done on the road and not, forcing a what could have been a, critical game 7 that could have shifted either way. So, shouts out to Miami for handling business. The one game that the Bucks were able to win was the game that Giannis didn't even play in. So I don't know what happened there, but Miami's on a mission. They have a bunch of players that are undrafted, so they just credit to them and credit to Eric Spoelstra. They've kind of grown on me, even though they're a rival. Just not really having any pieces. I mean, Bam's a good player. Jimmy's great. Lowry's kind of washed up at his, at this point in his career. He's on the, back half of his career. So, I just, his closing years of his career. So, good for them. And so, those were the 2. I mean, obviously, I was not expecting the Cavs. I had picked the Cavs in 6, I think. I wasn't expecting them to, get bounced by the Knicks in 5, but the Knicks are kind of surprising people. I mean, they have a really good, they have some really good pieces. Obviously adding Jalen Brunson, we talked about this on our last show, and Jalen Brunson is just such a big piece, and that Dallas is kind of kicking themselves for that. Credit to obviously Jalen Brunson, and RJ Barrett. They've been playing really well, and Julius Randle. So it's just a pretty good assembled team, and they're getting there. They're getting there slowly but surely. I don't think they're there yet, but they're getting there. They proved that they could win a playoff series. And there's some serious questions about the Cavaliers. We'll have to see what they do in the offseason. But, And so, I just think that those 2 series, and then obviously there's not much to say about the Philly and the Nets. I thought Philly would win 4-1. They ended up sweeping them.
Clean
not
sweep.
surprised. So.
Yeah. I mean, we got some good series in the East. We definitely got some good series, second round series setting up for the East that we'll definitely get into. But quickly going over the West, we had the Nuggets dispatching the Timberwolves in 5. No real surprise there. The Suns dispatching what ultimately ended up being the Kawhi-less and Paul George-less Clippers. Russell Westbrook, though, put on one hell of a playoff performance. Dispatched them in 5. Then we flip it over to the other side of the bracket. We had, just the sweetest vindication. And I have to say, I did say there was not a chance in hell the NBA was going to let this man lose in the first round. Not a chance was LeBron going to lose in the first round. The Lakers, to some surprise, not really, beat the Memphis Grizzlies 4-2. 6 games, great series though. I will say that. Dylan Brooks done in Memphis. Can't just love it. Great, just karma, ultimate karma. Then we come to what became one of the most watched non-finals playoff series ever. One of the most, viewed, rated, highly rated, Game 7, most non-watched game, non-finals playoff game ever in the history of basketball. Yeah, that's the kind of needle that Steph Curry moves. The Warriors and the Kings deliver one of the best playoff series that you will see in recent memory. Back and forth, ridiculous pace, ridiculous games, some ridiculous performances, capped off with, Steph. And if he finishes this year, man, Steph the GOAT Curry, but Stephen Curry, Wardell, Stephen Curry, putting on one of the greatest Game 7 performances ever. And guess what? We had somebody who got to see it live and in person. So, the floor is yours, my friend. Some reaction, some thoughts. What the hell was that like?
Yeah, it was crazy to see it in person. Obviously, just an all-time performance, as you outlined. One of the greatest players to ever play the game for sure. Obviously the best shooter. So, some of those shots just kind of crazy to witness in person. Obviously, it wasn't that fun to be at the game because it was the crowd was just so quiet after everything, and you wanted it to be a close Game 7. As a person who is going to the city, you want to feel that electric environment. So
true.
Right around the start of the fourth quarter, it was just kind of quiet, and that's not how you want playoff games to be, whether it's a Sharks game or Warriors game or whatever playoff game, 49er game you go to. You want the crowd to be into it. So unfortunate, the outcome as far as, it being such a blowout. I mean, for you, obviously not, but just seeing some of the Kings fans, waiting 17 years to get there to see their team kind of crumble at the end, but kudos to them. And, obviously credit to Stephen Curry for going in there and handling business, because it seemed like everybody else didn't do anything, including Jordan Poole and everybody else. So I mean, for him to score 50 points, that was almost half the points. So everybody else decided not to show up. So if it wasn't for him, obviously they probably would have got blown out. So he kind of just was the glue that kept everyone together at that point. So just kind of crazy just being in Golden One, just their first ever Game 7, obviously. First playoff run ever in Golden One. So I think that team will be back. I think it's good experience to be playing against the Warriors in the first round, take them to Game 7. Give them credit. I mean, no one gave them a chance in the series at all, which for good reason. I mean, they're not going to – I didn't think the Warriors were going to get bounced in the first round. But, I mean, Kings have something to build off of.
Yep, for sure.
For sure. Lots of good fans. It was a. I'll say this: that first half was really good. It was very entertaining, and then Steph just took over in the second half, and it kind of really quieted the crowd.
Yeah. I mean, it was a great game. It was a great series on both ends. Like you said, Sacramento definitely has something brewing. That was kind of your biggest takeaway from being there was Sacramento they definitely have the pieces there. Now they just got to make sure that they re-sign the people that they need, keep retooling, keep re-adding, and basically keep forming this team. There's a great video out there that, kind of compares, this Kings team with the Warriors team, which is very similar. The Kings have the longest playoff drought in NBA history. Number 2, the Golden State Warriors. So, they were the ugly ducklings of the NBA, right? Both 2 teams who moved from the East Coast to the West Coast, 2 teams who settled into a city, 2 teams who, were basically overshadowed by the Lakers. Nobody cared about the Warriors. Nobody cared about the Kings. Everybody cared about the Lakers. That was it. So the Kings, they have a team that they can build around. They have a team that, is getting the experience that they need to possibly take over as the next dynasty. We don't know who could be the next dynasty. It could be a Celtics Kings dynasty for the next, 8 years. We could see the Kings and the Celtics be in the finals back to back years, So we really don't know. I will say this, the young talent in the NBA currently as it stands is phenomenal. So I'm enjoying watching the playoffs, and they have definitely lived up to the hype so far. With that being said, we got some second round action. So let's talk about the second round. Starting us off, let's go back to the East. We got the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks to see who will advance to the Eastern Conference Finals, a classic series. Currently stands 1-1. We'll just lump it all together, make it nice and easy. Give me your pick and just give me some kind of analysis on what you've seen from the series so far, what you expect going forward, and then give us who you think's going to ultimately take it away.
Yeah, I mean, just a good series so far. Obviously, Jimmy Butler, his health is in question. Not being able to play game 2, I think the Heat would have gone up 2-0 if Jimmy Butler would have played. So I think the Knicks caught a lucky break there, honestly. They played really well. Luck is a part of the game. Rebounds, injuries, fouls, whatever it may be. I mean, They won the game, so you can't take it away from them. But I do think that, Miami wins one, if not both, when they go back home. So, it's a best-of-5 series now, and it's 1-1, best-of-5. I'm going to take Miami in 6. I think Miami's got this series on lock. Knicks, definitely have a chance to push it to 7. And if it goes to 7, I still think Miami would win. But I wouldn't be surprised if the Knicks, won the series. But good series so far. 2 good games in MSG. Miami really, really made a statement in game 1 on Sunday. So I just expect them to come home and play with force. And let's hope that Jimmy can play so that it's an even match, because let's be real here, with no Jimmy Butler, I mean, who do they have? Caleb Martin. I mean, he's a good player, but I'm just saying, we're talking about
he ain't no playoff
exactly.
Jimmy.
So they need playoff Jimmy, and I gotta go ahead and I gotta go with the Heat in 6.
I like it. Yeah, it's definitely been a definitely competitive series. We were talking about this series. I know you like this Heat team. They are a very cool team. They're definitely a very likable team as well. And this Knicks team is very, very cool. This Knicks team is I love this series. So, regardless of who wins this series, I will be satisfied. Honestly, I wanted to go 7 games, because I just want to get the most I can out of the series. So, we're rocking 7 games, and as long as playoff Jimmy plays, I fully expect the Heat to get it done in 7 in an exciting 7-game series there in Madison Square Garden. I expect him to put up probably an all-time performance there in MSG in Game 7, probably 50 points, 40, 50 points, anywhere in between there. Would not be surprised. So, I'm going Heat in 7. Series so far, super competitive. Jalen Brunson showing up, Josh Hart showing up, Julius Randle showing up, Mitchell Robinson, Hartenstein, whatever his name is. That dude is a baller. Hartenstein or something like that. That guy is an absolute baller. So the Knicks have some solid pieces. I really like the Knicks team. The Heat, it's just continuity. That's the good thing about the Heat. They're building. Do they have enough? We'll see. But this Heat team we've seen this Heat team the last few years. So we know what this Heat team is made of. We know what this Heat team can bring. It's just about, can they take that next step to get to where they want to be? Heat in 7. Our next Eastern Conference series, and we saved it for last, or we saved it for the last in the Eastern Conference because we had a game just take place, and that series is now 1 apiece. We got the Philadelphia 76ers and the Boston Celtics. Another classic East Coast battle. Boston versus Philly. Not much more you could ask for. Philly taking game 1, coming in there, kind of stealing game 1, kind of showing up Boston with James Harden going off for 45 points and setting the most points in Philadelphia history. Well, then what does Boston do? They're like, okay, well, you're going to do that? Well, then we're just going to turn around and beat you by the most points in franchise history, in your franchise playoff history. Celtics looked good, great at times, did not fold, finished the job, which was finish the game, extend that lead, get your starters out of the game and some rest heading to Philly. So the Celtics did what they needed to do to get the job done. And I'm excited. I'm excited for this series. Your thoughts on the Celtics and Sixers?
Yeah, just for whatever reason, sometimes, when the other teams have big players out, I don't know what it is. I really don't. DeJounte Murray was suspended for a game 5, and they came out and played loose. And, the Boston Celtics sometimes play down to their, to the teams that they're playing against. Obviously, they didn't have Joel Embiid. I don't really think they took them serious. I was watching interviews for the Boston Celtics. Al Horford even said it. Like, we don't think we didn't really take them that serious, that they didn't have Joel Embiid. And, part of me doesn't blame him just because, Joel Embiid's the MVP. But the other part of me is like, it's the NBA. I mean, it's full of competitors. Everybody's very competitive. Yeah. So at any given night, you can lose a game. So unfortunate, we got some tough breaks at the end of the game there. Marcus Smart kind of turned the ball over. And, there was a missed shot clock violation. I mean, clearly it was a shot clock violation where Maxey scored on, and that changed the momentum. 114 to 113, I think, at that point. And then he goes down and scores, and it was 32 seconds left in the game. So it's like, just obviously turnovers, unaware of the shot clock there, just a bad turnover, just a bad game. And, you know what? It's okay. They lost by 4. They didn't get blown out or anything like that. But it was very scary for me because when you drop game 1, it is a must win for game 2. So that's just, you can't drop your first 2 home games and think you're going to win a series. So for them to come out, tie it up 1-1, it is a best of 5 now. Obviously, Philadelphia has home court. They have 3 of the next 5 games in their building. We've got to win one. We've got to get home court back. We got to win one. And, surprisingly, we blew them out tonight by, 35 points. And Jason Tatum only had 7 points. So that's, that's not going to happen again. I mean, the last time Jason Tatum scored less than 10 points was in 2021. So it's been 2 years. Jason Tatum and the rest of the playoffs, you can mark my words, unless he gets hurt, he is not scoring less than 10 points. So you had to when Jason Tatum's only scoring 7 points, you got to capitalize on that. And Philadelphia failed to capitalize on that. He got quick foul trouble. He had 4 fouls. He didn't even play the fourth quarter, which is probably a good thing. He got some rest. But, best of 5. Philly got home court. Kudos to them. But, I'm going to stick with my pick before the series. If you would have asked the emotional Brandon yesterday, I might have said something different. But I think it's going to be Celtics in 7.
Okay. There it is. I like it. He's back. Yeah, he was there. We had to put an alert out for him because he was about there. But he's reeled back. The Celtics have reeled him back in with a great performance. And yeah, like you said, on a Jason Tatum off night, you have to capitalize. Now, the only good thing for the Celtics was Joel Embiid was coming back after not playing for 2 weeks or whatever it was. So he definitely was going to be a little bit rusty, and that kind of showed there. Celtics were able to do enough. The other players around Jason Tatum were able to do enough. Obviously, Jaylen Brown, who's basically 1B, 1A, vice versa. He was 1A in this instance. He stepped up to the plate, and he did what he needs to do, which is have a great performance, help the team win, and that's exactly what he did. So Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Marcus Smart, those three guys definitely holding it down for the team. Grant Williams had a really good game. Al Horford definitely had a struggling game. Al Horford and Jason Tatum both struggle, and the Celtics are able to win by 35. That is definitely setting you up for a very, very good road series heading into Philadelphia. So Celtics setting themselves up. Sixers looking to rebound. It should be a very, very, very interesting game 3. I'm very interested to see it, but I got the Celtics in 6.
Just gotta win one. Gotta win one on the road. This is my thing. You gotta split the series with them because they split it with you. You win one on the road. It's a 2-2 series tie.
Exactly.
And it's best of 3, and you have home court. So that's all I'm asking. I'm not going to do begging and say I would love to get both wins on the road, but I would love to get both wins on the road. And you're going to be in the same scenario. You're going to win game 2, and you're going to love for the Warriors to get both wins on the road. All you need is one, though. So let's not get greedy. Let's just win game 3, and then whatever happens in game 4 happens in game 4. Because I don't want to go down 1-2. I just want to win game 3, and whatever happens in game 4 happens in game 4.
I like it. Yeah, I definitely like it. That series should be good. But yeah, I think the Celtics are going to get it done. And I got the Celtics in 6. Brandon has got the Celtics in 7. We both got the Celtics, though. Moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals. And we got the Heat moving on to the Eastern Conference Finals, which means we got a rematch.
3 years straight.
Of last year's. 3 years. 3 years in a row. Eastern Conference Finals. No. Last year was Eastern Conference Finals.
Bubble. So 3 out of the last 4 years.
And then Bubble was Eastern Conference Finals as well.
3 out of the last 4 years.
Wow. Man, oh man, do these teams love to play each other. Whether LeBron, KG, Paul Pierce, Ray Allen, D. Wade, Chris Bosh, whoever's on that team currently, they just must love to play each other. Boston Heat, classic matchup. Boston, I got getting the job done against the Sixers in 6. No pun intended. Moving on to the West, and this is very, very easy because holy crap. I mean, the series can turn around. It can definitely turn around, but man, oh man, have they been boat raced in these first 2 games. The Nuggets and the Suns. Well, let me do a better intro for the Nuggets. They've been performing well. We have the Phoenix Suns and the number 1 seed, and they might look ready, the Denver Nuggets. Yes, the Denver Nuggets now 2-0 against the Phoenix Suns. Phoenix has been here 16 times before, and they have lost all 16 or 13 times before, something like that. Something where they've all lost. I think it's 13, excuse me, okay? 13 times before, 0-13. So this will be the 14th time that they've started out 0-2. Let's see what happens. Now, Nuggets absolutely destroyed them in game 1. Game 2 is the biggest tall tale sign for the Phoenix Suns because it comes down to one thing for the Phoenix Suns and one thing only, and that is their bench. 70, you're going to love this stat, 71 minutes. 71 combined minutes by their bench, 4 points in game 2.
Jesus.
71 combined minutes by their bench, 4 points. Damian Lee had 28 minutes. Oh, thank you for getting off the Warriors. No points, I should add.
Damian Lee, horrible. Yeah, no. This didn't go as I expected. I thought the Phoenix would steal a game. We didn't get to talk about this series on our Meet in the Key, but I thought Phoenix would definitely win a game here. Obviously Chris Paul getting hurt is something that you and I anticipated with that the folders would happen. We knew one of them would get hurt.
It's an inevitability.
One of the folders would get hurt.
Yep.
We knew Devin Booker wouldn't show up in a game. We know that, something's going to happen with Kevin Durant where he misses a shot at the end. We know that with the folders, we know each one of them's got their own power, right? You got Chris Paul who gets injured. You got, or whatever, their features, right? They got different features. These characters, the folders got different features. You got Devin Booker who disappears. He disappears for at least 1 or 2 games. Devin Booker will disappear. He will go off for 50, 45 points, and then he'll disappear. And then you got Kevin Durant who just, makes ill-advised turnovers at the – he's going to do that in one of those games. So, and it's going to cost you a game. So my thing is obviously the most consistent player on their squad is Kevin Durant. And it's going to come down to Kevin Durant. Devin Booker is not somebody that you can trust. We saw what happened in the finals when they were up 2-0. They lost 4 straight to the Milwaukee Bucks, and their title hopes kind of dwindled because last year they went 7 games with Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks and got blown out. I've never seen a team get blown out by that much. It was an NBA record to get blown out at home in Game 7. So, and here's my thing. You were the favorites to go to you were the number 1 seed. You were the favorite to go back to the NBA Finals. This isn't the Kings getting blown out by 20, and they're not even close to being the favorite. So we can't compare things like that. When you're coming off an NBA Finals run and you get blown. So here's my thing: you have got to win both games at home. You have got to win both games at home. Unfortunately, I think you're only going to win one. So that leads me to believe that leads me to really, it's going to go the same way the Atlanta Hawks.
Okay.
I got Phoenix winning 1 of 3 and 4. They're going to win one of those games. It's going to be 3-1 going back to Denver. Denver's going to drop that game, and I believe the Nuggets are going to close it out in 6. I got Nuggets and 6 advancing to the Western Conference Finals.
Okay, I like it. I like it.
When you're up 2-0, what people have to understand is when you're up 2-0, the opposing team has to win 4 out of the next 5. And with Chris Paul not playing potentially 2 of 3 of the next games, there is no chance in hell. I'm sorry, there is no chance that the Phoenix Suns are going to win 4 out of the next 5 games when 2 of those games are going to be in Denver. Nope.
I can't argue with the man. I cannot argue with the man. It makes all the sense in the world. Yeah. Phoenix, I just don't think they have enough. The bench, they depleted their bench in getting Kevin Durant here. It's going to take a season for them to replenish, get everything back in order, and then once they can do that, then and only then will they be able to, basically have some sort of sustainability where they can possibly put a team together that can actually compete for a title. Because right now, if Denver keeps playing that the way they're playing, I'm actually going to go out on a limb here, and I think the Denver Nuggets close out this series in 5. I think I think Phoenix wins 1 game at home. I think they go back to Denver, and I think that crowd is electric. I think that crowd is hungry. I think that crowd wants an Western Conference Finals appearance. They want a Finals appearance, but they're going to have to go through some difficult opponents on the other side. But the Denver Nuggets, I think, are ready and poised and healthy, most importantly, healthy, to move on to the Western Conference Finals. Denver Nuggets in 5. And our last series. Just this one is a legitimate heavyweight battle. And man, this is what the playoffs are all about right here. Goats versus goats, legends versus legends, all-time greats versus all-time greats. We got the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles LeBrons. LeBron James led Lakers traveling to San Francisco to take on the Golden State Steph Currys. Yes, the Golden State Warriors. What a matchup we have at our hands. And game one did not disappoint. Now, I want to preference this by saying that game one was a phenomenal game, an absolute great game, and one that I enjoyed until the absolute end. However, the Warriors getting 6 free throw attempts on 159 total shots is a crime, is a criminal offense. You mean to tell me that in 48 minutes of basketball, the Los Angeles Lakers, you mean to tell me that they played impeccable defense? You mean to tell me that the Los Angeles Lakers played God-tier defense last night and only fouled when it was not in the act of shooting or did not result in a bonus foul? I must have never seen greater defense in my life, because yeah, I would take that defense and wipe it with my ass. NBA, Adam Silver. This ain't gonna be the Sacramento Kings 2002, because I'll come to your office. But my God, the disparity in the free throws is an absolute joke. You want to know another stat? The Lakers and Warriors drove to the basket the exact same number of times. We got a series on our hand. Cannot wait for game 2. I fully expect the Warriors to rebound. We found the key late in the game. It's that small ball lineup. We're going to keep AD off on the sideline. We'll let him sit and let him rest so he doesn't hurt himself, Anthony Day-to-Day Davis, because God forbid, we don't want you to hurt yourself, Anthony. Warriors look to rebound in game 2. Lakers take game 1 in a thrilling game 1. That's why I want to throw that out there. Game 1 was a very exciting playoff game. What do you got for me on that series, and what do you got for me on the winner?
Yeah, first I wanted to go back. There was obviously a little bit of a discrepancy in the officiating, I will say that. But when I went back and looked at the box score, because I always do, I did see that the Warriors took double the amount, or more than double the amount of 3 points.
What do you got for me on the series, and what do you got for me on the winner?
I'm just going to put that out there. I agree with you that there was a discrepancy, but when you look and see that the Warriors jacked up 53 threes and the Lakers only took 25, it should have been more of maybe 10 to 15 free throws probably. But when you are jacking up that many threes, you're not creating contact, you're not getting to the foul line. So my recommendation for the Warriors in game 2, which I do believe they'll do, is they will take some shots inside the 3-point line, because when you have Jordan Poole and Dante DiVincenzo and all these people jacking up a bunch of threes, you're not getting to the free throw line and putting people like LeBron James in foul trouble. You want to look, the Sixers put Jason Tatum in foul trouble today. He was ineffective. He had 4 fouls. So the reason, not because you just want to get free throws, it's because you want to get people in foul trouble. You want Anthony Davis in foul trouble. You want him to have to sit. You don't want him to play all 24 minutes in the second half. So my recommendation to the Warriors here is, let's get inside the paint. Let's get inside the 3-point and stop jacking up 3-pointers. That's just, you can't. The Kings, you can do that, because the Kings are a horrible defensive team. They're not a good defensive team. The Lakers are a much better. They're not a top 10 defensive team, or they might be, but they're not on the Celtics caliber of defense. But they're much better than the Sacramento Kings at defense. So you have to play them differently. You cannot play the Lakers the same way you played the Kings, because the Lakers are going to get the fouls. So you got to try to drive in and get some yourself to get these players out of the game. So do believe, though, that it was a discrepancy. Usually the home team gets more calls.
Yeah.
With 53 3-points jacked up compared to 25, it shouldn't have been just 6 points. They should have had it more around like 12 to 14 free throws if you do the math. But, it's obvious that, the NBA wanted to make sure, damn sure that, the Lakers had a chance to win this game and that they're not going to go down 2-0. We know there ain't no chance in hell the Warriors are losing game 2. So the Warriors will win game 2. I've always had the Warriors in this series. Even the Lakers winning game 1, I'm still going to pick, I think, Warriors in 6. I think the Warriors are going to split with the Lakers here. They're going to go back and they're going to split with the Lakers in LA. I think they win game 5 and then they win game 6. I don't think it goes 7. I don't think it goes 7 at all. I think the Warriors know that, they just went to game 7. They don't want to play with fire again. So I think that they're going to learn from that mistake of not being able to close that critical game 6 out. So I do think that the Lakers are, this is going to be a great series. Obviously, you got, like you said, you got Steph versus LeBron. I mean, it's a good series. And, adding, Anthony Davis is a totally different component, because Kevon Looney, he's still got 23 rebounds, but guess who else got 23 rebounds? Anthony Davis. So, just having Anthony Davis out there is much better than having to play against Sabonis. You know what I'm saying? Like, Sabonis, Looney was eating him up, man. You can't do that with a healthy AD. AD appears to be pretty healthy. So if AD can stay healthy, I do think it goes 6. If something happens to AD, it probably goes 5. But I do think the Lakers win one more. I do think that they win one more. But I do think that the Warriors are going to advance to the Western Conference Finals, and 6 to face the Denver Nuggets.
Yeah.
I like it. Yeah. Shout out to Kevon Looney. I love you, man. You are the garbage man for a reason, because you clean up the messes. Man, oh man. Currently sitting at 160, I think 68, around there, 168 rebounds for the playoffs in 8 games. This man has grabbed 165 plus rebounds.
Wow. Kudos to him. That's incredible.
This man,
and you saw George Kittle. George Kittle had his jersey on.
George Kittle,
George
baby.
Kittle George Kittle is that type of dude. He's that Pat McAfee type dude. He's the intangibles, right? Like he likes the fullbacks. He's a tight end. He wants to score touchdowns. He wants to catch passes. But what is most important to George Kittle? He loves to block. Rebounding isn't the most sexy thing on planet Earth, but George Kittle, wearing the Kevon Looney jersey shows that he has appreciation for, the things that people don't really pay attention to, which is rebound. Scoring is sexy, right? Blocking is sexy. Passing is sexy. Nobody really talks about rebounds too much. Shouts out George Kittle. That's funny, man. He had that Kevon, out of all the jerseys, he had the Kevon. I think he was the first person to have a Kevon Looney jersey.
He did. I did like that. But yeah, Kevon Looney averaging 23 rebounds right now in the playoffs.
That's insane, man. The garbage man, I've always told you, he cleans up the trash, man.
He does, man.
He's that guy, man. He's that guy that you guys need to win that title.
I love Kevon Looney. He's the guy that I have been praying that the Warriors go out and find, and he's just been there waiting, lying and waiting and working. He has blossomed into everything that I could have possibly hoped for. Now remember, for those of you who don't know Kevon Looney, this man coming out of high school was supposed to be the next Kevin Durant. Yes, Kevon Looney was being compared to Kevin Durant coming out of high school. Then injuries happened. He had to readjust his game. He had to understand that he had limitations to his game now. And man, oh man, what a great basketball player this man has blossomed into. I love Kevon Looney. He is a fantastic basketball player. So averaging 23 rebounds right now. That, you got to show love to that because that is incredible, man. That is incredible.
Yeah.
So good for Kevon Looney.
All those rebounds, man. Game 7. I saw it, man. There was a series where he got like 3 or 4 boards in one series.
55 points to 165 plus rebounds. That's crazy in your playoff stats, man. So
amazing.
I got the Warriors, obviously. I mean, if you can't tell by the jersey, I got the Warriors handling business against the Los Angeles Lakers. I got it in 6 as well. I do think the Warriors go into the come on, it's the Staples Center, Crypto.com arena. Get the hell out of here. They go into the Staples Center. Steph, if you know Steph's playoff career, his best performances, for whatever reason, on the road. He loves to just break the hearts of just the opposing fan. He loves to see it. This dude's a psychopath. So I mean, we can go down the list. Sacramento, right? We got last year in Boston. We got what is it? I think it was year prior, or not the year prior. It was back when he was facing the Cavs. And then we had when he was facing the OKC and the Thunder when they were down 3-1 and they basically had to play with their lives on the line. So Steph Curry is a madman when it comes to playing on the road and crucial playoff games.
Yep.
I'm excited.
It's true.
I'm excited. It's going to be a great series. If I'll take it, man. The Kings series was awesome. This series, I expect it to be just as awesome. Not much more you could ask for in Steph Curry and LeBron James. This is kind of like, this is what you want. This is what you want. I always wanted Kobe versus LeBron. Always. I always wanted that in the finals. That would have been just the greatest finals ever, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Premature LeBron and prime
Tatum,
Kobe.
Man. We had Steph versus Tatum, and that could be, current star versus future champion.
True.
You know what I mean?
True.
We don't know. We might have LeBron versus Tatum this year. We might have Steph versus Embiid. So, it could be, we want those big matchups where these teams that, are.
This is what we want.
This is what we want. Everybody, we got Jimmy, we got Embiid, we got Jokic. We got, aside from the Knicks, every team's got that star, man. I mean, the Knicks, they don't have that guy. That's
Julius, I can't put him in. Yeah, Julius is not there yet. Yeah, Julius is supposed to be that guy for them. Yeah. Well, true. But Julius is supposed to be that guy for them, and he's not there yet.
Every team has it, but the Knicks, in my opinion. Every team has that guy.
And that could be the X factor. That's a great point that you just brought up right there. That could be the X factor for the Miami Heat, that the Knicks just don't quite have that guy yet. Can they get that guy? Sure. But they might not have that guy yet. The Heat, we know when playoff Jimmy plays, he is that guy. He is him. He is him for sure. What a round 2. What an epic 2 games we've gotten. Well, aside from one series. What an epic 2 games we've gotten from all 3 of these series. And then we got that kind of snoozer so far between the Nuggets and the Suns. Well, hopefully that picks up. But what a second round of basketball we have ahead. Because that will do it for this edition of Meet in the Key. You know what it is. It is just such an absolute joy. Such an absolute pleasure to be talking NBA basketball with Brandon, to be talking NBA basketball with you guys out there, getting your thoughts, your predictions, your analysis, anything like that, any thoughts that you can conjure while you're watching these videos. We definitely appreciate it, and we definitely want to thank you for taking the time, for watching our videos, checking us out, checking out our rebranded YouTube channel, The Sports Guys. Yes, we are now The Sports Guys, so thank you for checking us out, whether you're a returning viewer, new viewer. We hope that we have done enough to keep you coming back for more. And if we have, do us a favor and just smash that like button and just tap on that bell notification. That way, anytime new videos drop, you're right there to consume the content, because we are always going to be dropping sports content for you, because that's what we love to do. We're the Sports Guys, and we're going to bring it to you. Brandon, any last words for the people?
Nope. Just like I said, one game at a time. Got to try to handle business in Philly now. Got to try to take one of those games. That's all I'm focused on. I'm not focused on Eastern Conference Finals, NBA Finals, because you can't get there unless you win one of these 2 road games. So just locked in for Friday, man. Got to try to let's just win game 3. That's all I'm saying. And that's what's next.
I like it. We got some Warriors basketball tomorrow. We got some Celtic basketball on Friday. Not much more you could ask for. We are excited. I know you are excited. And that's going to do it for this edition of Meet in the Key. As always, that is one of my best friends, Brandon Sullivan. I am Jacob Cutler, the sports guy, the fantasy guy, whatever guy. I'm just a guy here. But I am glad to bring you sports content. We are glad to bring you sports content. So, for Brandon, for myself, Brandon and Jake, we're out.